Okay, so the sentencing is happening for the Beef Wellington killer. This guy is the only survivor of the dinner. If you remember, we did a video about this a long time ago, how a woman invited her husband and his relatives to like lunch or something like that, and she put death cap mushrooms inside of the Beef Wellington and served it to them, and they all died except for him. And her husband, at the last minute, declined the dinner, so he didn't go. But basically, she killed his parents and like aunt and her husband, or something like that, or just the aunt, and the aunt's husband survived. Anyhow, so she was found guilty, but sentencing is happening, and prosecutors are trying to have like life in prison without the chance of parole. And he's a pastor, so he's the only person who survived. And I remember when this happened, just how they were talking about the excruciating pain all of the people who ate the dinner must have had before they died, and what he must have had in his life before, knowing that this lady poisoned him and then his wife had died. And it was so sad. Like, I think sentencing is supposed to happen on September 8th, but right now they're getting statements from family members and stuff like that before. And they're talking about like how he was in the court sitting across from the woman who poisoned them all. And he was just like, why do you think murdering all these people would solve your problems? And he's a pastor, and he gave her his forgiveness and stuff. But it was so sad to hear. He was like, oh, I wanted to grow old with my wife and see our family and stuff. I was just like, oh, I felt really bad for him, for their whole family to think that, for this revenge that she wanted to get against her husband, she decided to kill his relatives. Here it just explains that she gave them the death cap mushrooms that she picked herself in 2023, and she served this meal. Aaron Patterson served this meal to all of the relatives at lunch or something, with a beef Wellington that she made herself. So this is like the breakdown of the family. These people died. That was her husband, and this is the guy that survived. Her husband's aunt, her partner, is the guy who survived, and everybody else died excruciatingly horrible deaths in the hospital. And I think they're saying that his grandmother, who was 100 years old, even gave impact statements as well about how their children died before her, and it's just really, really sad situation. What do you think about this? Don't forget to like and subscribe.